My name is Evelin Lindner. I'm the founding president of the Human Dignity and Humiliation Studies Network and one of the initiators of the World Dignity University Initiative. And I have the great pleasure and privilege to sit here now with Ingela. And Ingela will present herself in more depth in a minute. I would just like to say that I know Ingela since many, many years. We saw each other for the first time in 1996, so it's many years ago. And I wrote my doctoral dissertation on humiliation and armed conflict at the psychology department where Ingela is. And I could not imagine my research without Ingela and her colleagues. Without her and her colleagues, my work would not be there. So I'm deeply, deeply indebted and extremely thankful. So this is kind of my introduction to Ingela. And I would be so happy if you could briefly say who you are, your name, and and then your work. And then my next question would then be, your take on the term of dignity or the concept or why dignity is important, and then we go further. So perhaps the first would be that you say who you are.
Yeah, my name is Ingela Lundin Kvalem and I'm Swedish, but I've lived in Norway for over 30 years, so I'm mostly Norwegian, I think. And I'm an associate professor in health psychology, and my interest is in body image and obesity foremost. Especially among adolescents, the development of body image and the impact of body ideals on young people, and especially the consequences of being obese in our society, in Western societies. And there is the link to dignity for me.
Okay.
Is the, I could say that I think this, especially for women, I think nearly one of the most tragic things is that women are so dissatisfied with how they look, with their body, and with their appearance. And this is especially true when you are obese, because that is so far away from the body ideal in our society. And people think so negatively about themselves. And they think so negatively about others who are obese. And I think that is really a tragic circumstance that we have in our society, in Western society. It really keeps people down and makes them, they can't express themselves, they can't live their life fully if they are so negative towards themselves. So we strip them of their dignity when we impose impossible body ideals. Because the body ideal for women especially is so thin that the catwalk models, you can say about 1 or 1.5% of women look like that.
Wow, so little.
So the consequence is perhaps 90% of women are dissatisfied because they can't achieve, and this body ideal is nearly impossible to achieve. And you try to diet, and you're doing physical exercise, and you're doing cosmetic surgery, everything, and try to form your body towards the ideal instead of accepting your body as it is. That's the body you're having. But then also the other thing is that the society, as it looks like now, with overabundance, with fatty foods, with difficulty for many people to buy healthy foods, difficulty to exercise, or the technology is against exercise because we have cars and we have remote controls and we don't move about as much as we did before. So you have this obesity epidemic, and obesity in our society is connected to that people attribute very negative personality traits to obese people. Obese people are viewed as lazy, less intelligent, they don't have control over their eating, they don't have the have they are weak people.
Yeah.
And they're looked down upon, they're discriminated against, they're stigmatized. And the scary thing is that they also stigmatize themselves. They kind of agree, yes, there's something wrong with me. And very few minority groups agree with being humiliated. They say, I want to fight back. Black is beautiful, women can, we don't accept this. But obese people tend to kind of accept it to a larger degree. Okay, well, I'm not as good as you are. And that is really awful. So it came to me when I interviewed people who took bariatric surgery, extremely obese, morbidly obese people who take this surgery, obesity surgery, to lose weight. And they need to do many of them because otherwise they will get sick.
Right.
Or they're
damage their health.
Yeah, they have diabetes and high blood pressure and everything. But they had so low self-esteem and they were so desperate, and they told me such awful histories of experiences they've had, going around town, and people, just strangers, stopping them and say, how can you? How can you be this fat? Do something about it. Or when they come into a store with clothes, for example, all the personnel disappear because they don't want them in the store.
Right.
So it's so devastating, it's so negative consequences in the daily life. So that's my this long story, but I think
it's a very important story.
Yeah.
So you know, if I now think of all the students in the world who listen to you from different cultures, I'm just thinking also of the culture, for example, in Tonga. Also, you know, who knows? Somebody from Tonga might listen and might have ideas. You know, how the old culture, the new culture, and it's a fascinating topic and so important. I think so profoundly important. The body is so important. It's you know, how we manifest ourselves on this planet, and then how we live with it, and it's so foundational. So so if you think of the students of this world who might now watch us, and you think of how you would be able or want to contribute to the World Dignity University initiative, you know, the next step would be that you make a lecture of 1 hour, a videotape, we put it on but the next step could be that you, let's say 10 students, 20 students from all over the world are interested in this topic, and you invite them here to Oslo and to a face-to-face meeting, and then online teaching the rest. Somehow, what would you, the rest of the year, and then a face-to-face meeting perhaps at the end, what would be the titles? I think it would be not just one course or one topic or one theme. It would be several, I think, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you will have to address the cultural differences that are getting smaller as media is spreading, and the Western ideals, when media arrive to a culture that hasn't had so much, then it seems like they take over the Western thin body ideals. Right. So it's spreading.
That's right.
It's kind of like a disease, and also I think something interesting is about cultural differences is some cultures, and especially 100 years ago or something like that, when food was scarce, when people were starving, then it was viewed as being not obese perhaps, but a bit overweight. It was the same as having high status.
Yes.
I mean, you could afford to eat.
This was in Tonga, I think.
Yeah, you can afford to eat. You have money. You are a bit plump, and that's something positive. But then it seems like in culture, where there is abundance of food, people are rich and there's a lot of food. It's the other way around. It's being in control of the food, having time and money to diet and to exercise. So it's a high class phenomenon to be thin, and lower class to be thick or obese. So you could I mean, in the United States, 60% are overweight and 30% of the adult population are obese. So you could think that, well, if so many, it should become more normal or not so negative.
Right.
It seems like it's other way around because it becomes really exclusive to be thin. It's really high status.
Right.
So I would love for young people to kind of try to resist this media pressure of being so thin and look like thin white women, kind of like that's the most thin ideal we have. And try to resist it and try to look around among their friends and see that people don't look like that. And also try to fight the media's way of photoshopping and manipulating the pictures of women because they don't look like reality at all.
That's right.
They have no blemishes in their face.
That's
it's kind
right.
of
That's right. Spotless.
So being aware of how media manipulate pictures is very important. And you have studies in Australia that show that teaching especially young girls, how media manipulates them kind of protects them when they come in the puberty against being so negative.
That's very important. I think. Extremely important.
Yeah. So you can fight this.
It's so a paradox that the same society advocates this extreme thinness and then sells and thrives on selling food that
high fat,
high sugar, and this has this addictive effect, so that more sales can be expected because people get addicted. But as soon as you get addicted to this, you get fat, and this it's as if society sends people into an almost impossible dilemma.
Yeah, it's called the obese environment. The environment makes people obese. And then you get punished for it.
Yeah. So it's a kind of trap. Yeah. A trap put by society into which people are then caught.
Yeah. I think that's very interesting. So in cultures when the trap isn't that developed. But I mean, the obesity epidemic is now worldwide. I mean, it's not just a Western.
No, I know. China is following Japan.
Yeah. So. I mean, it's a consequence of the society's of the development in society. We have too much of everything, and we have all this technology that doesn't make us move around enough for exercise.
Yeah. So let's say the title of also this video. How should we title it? Body image and dignity, or the negative effect of body ideals on body image, or the negative consequences on dignity from impossible body ideals. The negative effect of
impossible body ideals on dignity.
Very
something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think this is wonderful, and we can perhaps end here for now.
Yeah.
But I really would like to thank you, because, as I said, this is foundational. I think it is foundational. It's at the core. Our bodies are the vehicle with which we manifest ourselves, and so it's so central. So I thank you so very much, and I'm so grateful that we could have the chance to sit together now. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.